In the following clip, a man is going to the cemetery to pay his respects to his father, but as he walks through a particular section of the cemetery, he notices an accident has happened there. Then, something else catches his attention. Watch.
Damn, man. People gotta learn to slow down. Lucky they didn't hit none of these tombstones. Real lucky. Hello? You alright? You okay? What the hell? What the f is going on here? There ain't nobody there. Miss? Hello?
The sound was getting louder as he approached the car, but looking inside, there's no one there. Later that day, he heard about the accident in the news and that the victims, a man and a woman, were rushed to the hospital, but only the man made it. When he compared the time the incident happened to the time he visited, it was hours apart, so that explains why no one was in the car. Some believe he might have stumbled into what's called a residual haunting, where an intense moment in time repeats itself, like an echo, for anyone unlucky enough to be in the right place at the right time. Others think the woman's spirit may have lingered, confused, or unwilling to move on after the crash. There's even the chilling thought that the sound wasn't coming from the car at all, but from something unseen in the cemetery itself. Do you believe this was the ghost of the woman that passed, or is there some other explanation for what happened? Now, in this next clip, a man arrives home after work when he starts hearing faint voices. At first, he thinks someone has broken into his house, but as he gets closer, the realization hits him. The voices are coming from inside his girlfriend's room. He gathers courage and steps inside, and this is what he saw.
Recién llego a mi casa y se ve la luz acá y había alguien. Pero se lo juro que había alguien. Se escucha. Se escucha. Te estoy escuchando. Se vio acá.
If you turn your volume up, you'll hear voices. And then, the part that would make anyone's blood run cold. His girlfriend's teddy bear begins to move on its own, its head twitching slightly in a way no wind or vibration could explain. Now here's where it gets even more disturbing. There's an old belief among paranormal investigators that stuffed animals, especially ones given as gifts, can act as vessels for spirits or even darker entities. Some say this is because toys, being symbols of innocence, attract malicious forces that want to twist that innocence into something unsettling. And while you might think this would happen only with old toys picked up from yard sales or thrift stores, in this case, the teddy was brand new, bought directly from a store. When his girlfriend got home, he told her what happened. To his surprise, she didn't laugh it off. Instead, she admitted she had heard faint noises from the teddy at night, like whispers, but she always told herself it was her imagination. Until now. The very next day, things got worse. He returned from work and found the teddy in a far more disturbing position. Watch this.
Se están escuchando ruidos. Quiero grabar esto. Ahí está. Quiero que... ¿Qué carajos? No hay nadie, loco. No hay nadie, necesito que vean. No hay nadie. Deja de burlarme, hijo de puta. No hay nadie. Te escucho esto. ¿Qué carajos es eso? ¿Qué querés? ¿Qué querés? Cabrón. ¿Qué querés, hijo de puta? ¿Qué querés, hijo de puta? ¿Qué querés, hijo de puta? Es que no hay nadie acá, loco. No hay nadie. Se están escuchando ruidos o pasos, no sé qué. Pero está retumbando todo. Está retumbando toda la casa. ¿Qué mierda es eso? ¿Qué bien no se ve? No se ve la cámara, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? Se desenfoca eso. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Es eso? Muéstrate más, hijo de puta. ¿Qué es eso? Muéstrate más, coño. ¿Qué es eso? Vení para acá. ¿Qué es eso? Mostrate. Deja de irte. Se acaba de caer todo acá. No sé cuántos son, loco.
That night, neither of them could sleep, and at some point, both of their phones shut off at the exact same time. They tried charging them, switching chargers, plugging them into different sockets. Nothing worked. And then, as mysteriously as they had died, both phones turned back on the next morning. Some say this was a direct display of power from whatever entity had latched onto the teddy. Others insist it was a warning, a way of letting them know they weren't in control anymore. A few skeptics blamed faulty wiring or bad batteries, but even they struggled to explain the voices caught on camera. And so, like many other videos, I'll leave you to decide. Is this the work of an overactive imagination, a clever hoax, or proof that something truly malevolent can hide behind the face of an innocent soft animal? In the following video, a vlogger who some people call Nidun is sharing his latest realization with his viewers when this happens.
I feel like a sick benefit when you have kids is the fact that you can tell them to get you stuff. Like say he's about to go to sleep, right? And then I'm like, yo, Mari, can you get me the remote? He gets me the remote. He's probably wondering who I'm talking to right now because he's like, this guy lost his damn mind looking over there while we're the only ones in the room. But it's called vlogging. Oh, you're scared. You think I'm talking to a ghost? Okay, my bad. It's called vlogging. It's called vlogging. So if you look at the camera and talk to the camera, there's actually people there when you post it. I know you see nothing. Oh, you do see something? It's a little creepier than seeing nothing. Okay. Okay, chill, bruv. There's no one there. If you ain't talking to the camera, you shouldn't be talking to no one else because there's no one standing over there. There's no one standing there, so who are you talking to on that side? What do you say? Who are you talking to? You see people? Do you see people that aren't here? Why are you looking there now? No one's on the beanbag, bruv. Chill, fam, chill. Okay, you scared yourself and you just scared me too, bud. Who are you waving at? No, don't be doing that. There's no one there.
It got creepy when the little boy started feeling unsettled. You'll notice he was looking at different corners of the room with no one there. In one corner, he stares for a long time. In another, he looks and almost starts crying. It was as if there were several people there. Some he liked and some he didn't. Viewers were quick to point out kids at his age tend to act like that, while others shared terrifying experiences they had with their own children, seeing things no one else could. One mother mentioned her daughter stares at corners and then smiles. Another said babies only see angles and jinns. Others speculated that children might still have what some call the veil between worlds thin, allowing them to see spirits that adults can't. Some suggested the boy could have been sensing residual energy left behind in the house, possibly from past events. A few even believed it might not have been human at all, but something imitating a human presence to get the child's attention. But can anyone really tell what a little child sees? Like other videos, this remains unresolved. The following video is about Clay, who moved from a house he lived in for 6 years because he was always hearing knocking every single day. Imagine living with strange activities for 6 years, and he still couldn't find what was causing the strange things in his home. But the new house he got wasn't any better. Finer, yes, but when it comes to strange activity, no improvement. One morning, he's doing the dishes when this happens. You'll notice the chair moves without anyone being there. Right after, he hears a knocking sound. Even after putting the chair back in its place, the same thing happens again. The knock. Then the chair sliding on its own. He later showed footage from earlier that morning with the lights flickering. And while the chair was moving in the kitchen, this was happening in his room at the exact same time. From his years in the old house, Clay knows well to put cameras everywhere. And in this place, that decision was more important than ever. It's like he left one nightmare only to walk straight into another. But there's one detail about this new apartment you need to know. There's a locked door he's not allowed to open, part of the rental agreement. And the strangest part is, he wasn't told why, and no one will say what's inside. Some speculate it could be a sealed off room where something terrible happened. Maybe even the site of a death or violent event that the landlord doesn't want tenants to know about. Others believe it could be an old storage space that holds something far more dangerous, like an object that's been contained because it's tied to the activity. One night, Clay wakes up to the sound of footsteps. Then, this happens. If you turn your volume up, you'll hear them clearly, like someone walking across the room. But Clay was in bed, and he lives alone. Some viewers analyze the footage frame by frame, pausing and zooming in, and claim they saw a shadowy figure walk past. Clay admits he saw it too, but told himself it must have been a trick of the light. But this excuse didn't hold up after the next incident. Clay was up late working on some videos one night when this happened. Have a look. He felt something touch his shoulder, but when he turned around, there was no one in the room. You'll also notice the door moved slightly, but it didn't close. Then, there was a loud bang from inside the room that made him look back again. He checked every room in the house, but found nothing, until he started hearing tapping. Slow at first, then faster, like something trying to get his attention. After he searched everywhere and found nothing, he went back to his seat, and again the door moved, like someone was trying to close it. The most unsettling clip came when Clay had friends over. After a long night of catching up and playing games, they went to bed, but Clay's camera captured this. The pattern was strangely familiar. First the knocking, then the lights, then footsteps, and the fact that clip came from a notification on his camera app that a motion was detected in that area and no one was seen is still fascinating Clay. He showed the rest of his friends and every person swore they hadn't left their beds until morning. So what was moving, and is whoever or whatever connected to the locked door in Clay's apartment? Let me know what you think. In the following video, Kelsey shares a strange experience that took place just days after a heartbreaking loss, and she even shares what she thinks might be behind it. Now, just for context, Kelsey's grandfather was a huge believer in ghosts and spirits, and he always told her that if he ever made it to the other side, he'd find a way to prove he's still around. Sadly, he passed away on November 12th, 2023, and 2 days later, Kelsey woke up to this.
See? What the? What the? Nobody's down here.
For some reason, the lights downstairs were flashing, and at first she assumed one of her kids had gotten out of bed and was messing around. But here's where it gets strange. As she reaches halfway down the stairs, the lights suddenly turn off and stay off. But with nothing unusual in sight, she goes back to bed. A few moments later, it happens again. Only this time, she wakes her husband and they both go to check. And once again, right when they get halfway down the stairs, the lights turn off and stay off. Now, this is where things start to get pretty creepy. Ever since that night, it hasn't happened again. So now Kelsey is left wondering, is this just faulty wiring? A coincidence? A sign from her grandpa like he promised? Or something else entirely? Some viewers believe it was a gentle message from her grandpa. Others aren't so sure, and some wonder if it wasn't her grandfather at all, but something else entirely. Like other videos, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. Now, this next video comes from Kuma, a content creator who usually posts casual moments from his everyday life, time with friends, and life around the city. But viewers get completely thrown off when he shares something way creepier, an unsettling encounter inside his new home, which used to be a church before it was converted into a community space. Before we get into the footage, here's what you need to know. Kuma had barely been living in the house for 3 days when he started hearing unexplained screams and strange noises echoing through the building late at night. And according to him, the strange activity seemed to intensify right after he and his friends had a conversation about the paranormal events that happened at his old place. But it gets a whole lot stranger when his friends come over one evening and they actually catch something on camera. Have a look. This white balloon was gently drifting through the hallway like it had somewhere to be, but the moment they decide to follow it, and as they're talking about how bizarre it is, the balloon suddenly stops, then begins moving faster, this time chasing them instead. At this point, they panic and run.
Separate? No. Like, move away from it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was like, no. It is what in the say faster, motherfucker.
It continued to get quicker and more aggressive.
If it comes towards us, I'm grabbing shit, we're dipping.
But here's the strange part. Somehow, the balloon ends up exactly where they run to, and the way it moves, it's not random. It drifts with intent, slowing down, then speeding up, like it's choosing where to go next.
In here. Oh, hell no. Oh, shit. If it comes in towards up,
The noise you hear is a small electrical box that has the littlest airflow that has ever existed.
Oh, it's being blown around.
Okay, wait, maybe it's done now.
Dude, you snapped over that way.
Why?
Why?
Dude, no, because like my phone's actually like glitching out too. Hold on.
Dude, we're gonna have to walk. Okay, that was
Oh
that.
wait,
That
no,
was that.
'cause-
That was that.
Okay, we might have got it trapped. Is it cold?
Oh, there's barely even coming out of it.
Why is it going so fast then?
Move,
There was no air in that shit. Oh.
It eventually stops at the base of the stairs, almost like it's deciding what to do, maybe watching them split up and trying to figure out who to follow. But when one of the friends heads to the other side of the building to investigate further, he sees something else.
The second one snuck down the stairs and jolted upwards. We investigated, and there were no signs of force there anywhere at that time.
You can come back down here and join us. You probably just got pushed by some air.
I know it's probably frustrating to have been pushed around by all that air, but as you can see with the other balloon, it's not as windy over here in the middle by us.
It went almost the same route as the first balloon.
And guess what it's doing? Are you gonna come join us, or are you gonna go downstairs?
Apparently, there's two of them. After quietly monitoring it, the balloon drifts quietly into the gym and settles in a shadowy corner of the room where it stops moving completely. Now, looking back at the video, viewers point out that while it might seem funny at first, there's something really unsettling about the movement of these balloons, especially when you remember this building had years of untouched history. And who knows what may have taken place within those walls. Somehow, the whole thing feels like more than coincidence and remains a mystery. This next clip shows Luke having a quiet evening when he decides to check his CCTV footage just out of curiosity, but what he finds completely throws him off. Watch.
So I'm currently home alone watching mine CTV. Mind you, my masks are right up there. What the f is this? So like I said, I'm watching this bullshit as if that's not freaky enough. At midnight, home alone. What's really creeping me out is the fact that there is a mask on my fridge. Here, let me zoom. That's not my mask. My mask is behind me. So I don't know who put that mask here. Bro, what the f? Where'd the f***ing mask go?
While Luke is still trying to explain, it suddenly disappears, almost like something removed it entirely. But this incident gets a whole lot stranger because after sharing the clip online, viewers start pointing out something Luke hadn't noticed before, and the reaction forces him to make a pretty big confession, along with a brand new wave of concern. Here's what he shared.
I didn't expect this video to blow up, but since y'all are asking, we live up in this hoe. We live. The masks are up there. But I'm going to shoot you guys straight. I did put a mask on top of the fridge. But what I can't seem to understand, and what I'm actually kind of fucking freaked out about, is the fact that there was a silhouette. See, I hate to be the bearer of bad news because I did put this mask over there. I'll admit it, I did. But what's freaking me out is you guys pointing out the fact that there's a silhouette. I don't know what's casting a shadow here or what's going on here, but like, I did have to turn on the lights after this because you guys started pointing this out. I turned on the lights and put on the office because what the f is Michael Myers up in my house? What the fuck just happened? That's some bullshit. All right, so there's the fridge that I put the mask on top of. It was sitting right up there. There's the piece of paper, but I have no idea what could have casted the shadow or made the silhouette. I'm still confused by this. It's freaking me out. I don't know.
Some viewers believe something inside the house has taken form, that whatever presence may be there has chosen a face and is starting to make itself known. And with the growing number of strange things he's experiencing, he's starting to wonder if whatever this is might not stop here. Luke also admits that there have been odd things happening around the house for a while now, things he thought were nothing until this video started getting traction. Luke is still confused by it all, and honestly a little unsettled because somehow what people saw in this clip is worse than what he originally posted. Paranormal or not, something doesn't feel right here. In this next clip, Alea shares some strange activity that's been happening in their home, particularly in their bedroom. According to her, things have been visibly moving on the bed in ways that don't make any sense. One night, she sees this when she decides to check her security camera footage, and when she turns around and something even more unsettling was happening. Take a look. You can clearly see the cover shifting, like something is crawling under it. But there's no wind, no air vent, and Alea explains that the background noise is just white noise from her TV, which she was recording at the time. She also points out that the bed is flat on the floor, making it even more confusing. And what makes this even more unsettling is the timing. Alea had recently lost 2 significant people in her life, both within just 5 months of each other. So naturally, the idea that this could be connected isn't easy to ignore. But this is where things start to get pretty creepy. One comment in particular caught Alea's attention, someone warning that the activity might escalate. And they weren't wrong because not long after, this happens.
That's never done that.
That cabinet had never acted up before until the bed activity started, and from there, it's been one strange event after another. Nothing in the house feels normal anymore. Now, Alea and her husband aren't exactly scared because they've lived in a house with what they believe was demonic energy before, but this time, they're just trying to figure out what exactly they're dealing with. So, did Alea capture something paranormal? Or is there another explanation for what's going on in their home? You decide. This next video comes from content creators who work off the coast of Maine and describe themselves as the lobster captains of the FV Frequent Flyer. While filming one of their usual drives, they pass an old, decaying house sitting alone in the woods. and what they capture on camera leaves them completely baffled. Watch.
So this house, the first time we passed it, Chase said the bottom part was not blinking. It was on, but it wasn't blinking. See how the different lights are at different intervals? The kitchen light being on. And then in the fire room over there, there's a light that's going off and on. No one lives here. I think that this house may be haunted. Chase is gonna go inside and check it out.
Fuck you, I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, this house is vacant right now. And it's more than one electrical circuit, so it can't be one malfunctioning.
For some reason, the lights inside the house are flickering, but here's the weird part. The creators confirmed that the owners live out of state and did not have power on. So, what exactly is going on in this house? A year later, they returned to check on the same property, and what they captured this time is even more unsettling. Take a look.
Who would pay for electricity? Whoa, something just changed. Did you just see that? Something most definitely just changed.
What changed?
One of the lights paused for a second. There's no cars. It's 10 o'clock at night. This is 1 year later. Now, we did meet the girl that grew up here. This was her childhood home. She absolutely 100% said it was haunted.
She actually made.
She actually made a video. What is her screen name? Jenna
something. I can't remember.
She 100% confirmed that this house is haunted. I just can't imagine anybody keeping the fucking power on for the lights to blink.
Now, aside from the creators confirming their story with someone named Jenna, things take a strange turn in the comments section. Jenna's sister, Alyssa, leaves a message confirming the house is, in her words, haunted. She writes, "Jenna is my sister, and I am also going to confirm that this house is haunted." Another very strange thing the creators revealed was that the house had been abandoned for years, but the family never put it up for sale and simply just let it rot. But the strangest part of all, and maybe the most unsettling, happened the next morning when the creators returned for one last look. Here's what they captured.
So it looks like one light downstairs is blinking, but the upstairs light isn't. This is a house during the daytime. Timer maybe? I don't know. But as you can see, it's definitely grown up. Okay, let's get the hell out of here. Screw this place. So one light is on, blinking, but the upstairs and the downstairs second light that was blinking is not on.
Viewers got into overdrive and started picking out even more details, pointing to shapes, shadows, and faces that the creators hadn't noticed at all. And while the creators haven't posted any updates since then, these videos still circulate and continue to raise questions. Was something hiding in plain sight all along? Or is there a more rational explanation behind the flickering lights and shadowy figures? This one remains a mystery. The following clip is about a woman named Clarissa, who's living with a strong feeling that something dark is lingering in her house. And you know what they say? When you feel something's there, you're probably right. One quiet weekend, she's home with her 3-year-old son when this happens.
I'm at work, but I need to share this video with you guys. I need your advice. Tell me what you guys think. I have a ghost. I know I do. Ever since I moved into this house 3 years ago, I've always said that there's like a dark spirit or dark energy in there. And guys, this weekend I caught it on camera. I was loving my son, as you'll see in the video. I was giving him lots of loving, and I walk away, and he points to the door and he tells me monster. So pay attention to the door, guys. The whole video, the door's closed. I can even show you videos before that. My door is closed. There's no possible way it could have opened. The air wasn't on. There wasn't a breeze. Nobody was home, okay? It was just me and my son. So watch the door closely and tell me what you think. You can't hear sound in it because my camera doesn't record sound, but my son said, when he points, he says monster. So if you see in the video, you can see me like turn around and pause and look at the door like, was the door open? Like, I was even freaking out because I'm like, am I going crazy? Did I open the door? No. I went back to all the other videos. I did not open the door. Did not open the door. So watch and tell me what you guys think, because I'm a big believer in all this stuff. So let me know, guys. All right, guys. So watch closely. I go give him some love, and then I turn around and then just watch the door. I also replay the video at the end so you can see the door. At this point, I'm freaking the hell out, you guys. Excuse my language, but look at me. I'm like, what the hell? And my 3-year-old is the one who pointed it out. Mind you, he is 3. But I'm freaking out. I grab my phone and I hold him closely. And then there's the replay so you guys could see closely.
The door slowly opens on its own with no draft, no one else in the house, and no faulty hinges, because Clarissa already had it checked. But that's not the disturbing part. It's what her son does next that deeply unsettles her. He looks toward the doorway, lifts a finger, and says one word: monster. She shared the footage online hoping for answers, but the advice she got only left her more confused. While many viewers agreed her son likely saw something she couldn't, the suggestions for what to do next were all over the place. Some said don't cleanse the house, it could open a portal. Others warned against saging, claiming it might make the entity angrier or attract something worse. Now, she's stuck and afraid to act, but even more afraid to do nothing. If you were in her shoes, what would you do? This next clip is about Sabia, a mother living in the Netherlands who's been dealing with something strange in her home. According to her, the house seemed normal at first, until things like this started happening. Have a look.
Stil. Dat is dat vieze creepy ass keukentje. Kijk, dat bedoel ik dus. Dat is het licht. Varkje kwam dus daar. Is hier dus. Dit is dus het lichtknopje. Het is echt helemaal niet. Deze deur is gewoon dicht. Er is hier gewoon echt helemaal niemand. Fuck. Zie je zo'n ding? Dit is het weer, hè?
She was already fast asleep when a loud sound woke her up. But here's where things get unsettling. The door you just saw move is very heavy, and it takes a good amount of effort to close it. Even she struggles with it sometimes. So how does a door like that suddenly close on its own, without anyone near it? And then there's the sound from the kitchen. It's as if someone was repeatedly flipping the light switch, but when she checked, the lights were off, and no one was there. Nothing that's happened in this house has made any logical sense to Sabia, and now she's hoping anyone who sees this can give her answers. So do you think this is just a coincidence, a structural issue, or did Sabia actually capture something paranormal? Now, this next clip comes from a guy named Mathis, who's been living in a house that's over 160 years old. For the 2 years he has stayed there, nothing unusual happened until the night of July 30th, 2025. That night, he was cleaning up the kitchen after dinner and everything felt normal, until he headed upstairs for bed and caught sight of something through the front door's glass. Have a look.
What in the actual hell? There's literally...
At first, it looks like someone is standing outside his front door at 10 p.m., but when he rushes to confront them, no one's there. The strange thing about the figure in the footage is that it moves. It has a face, appears to be wearing a hat, and stayed for several hours. Mathis insists there was no one across the street, and according to him, the angle of the front door makes it nearly impossible to cast a shadow like that without being physically close. And here's a detail that adds a strange layer to the whole thing. Mathis's house is located near a forensics center, where autopsies are regularly performed. For 5 nights, Mathis hasn't been able to sleep, and he's still trying to debunk what he saw. Until he does, this remains a mystery. Now, in this next clip, a man from the Philippines who recently moved to Japan shares his growing concerns about the paranormal activity in his new apartment. Back home in the Philippines, he says he was no stranger to eerie encounters, but what's happening in Japan feels different. This is what a typical day looks like in his new home.
Wala naman tao. Yung tunog doon sa video, ganito yun eh. Pakinggan nyo ah. Kala ko kasi may tao, kaya nagulat ako. Nyo ah. Diba? Ganun yung tunog. Wala naman tao. Nakakabuisit. Buisit. Tangya ka. Sino ka man? Aga pa naman. Oh. 6:10. Yung dalawang kasama ko mamaya pa yun. Ah? Tama ba? 5:50. Ito na yung oras. Alas 5:50. Sunog na nga yung ano ko eh. Niluluto. Ganun na ganun yung tunog. Wala naman tao yan. Sarado pa yan. Oh. Wala pa yung mga kasamahan ko. Wala, diba? Pero may nagkalabog ng pinto ko. Nakakabuisit. ko yung tunog ng pinto ko eh. Yung pinto na to. Ayan yung labas namin. Oh. Ayan, ito yung pinto. Ayan. Pakinggan nyo ha. Pakinggan nyo. Pakinggan nyo. Hindi ko tinatakot yung sarili ko. Pero alam ko yung kalabog kung galing sa loob o galing sa labas. So yun lang. Sino man siya. Bahala siya sa buhay niya.
While documenting the activity, he casually talks about the coping strategies that worked for him back in the Philippines. Things like prayers, playing Christian music, and setting up micro CCTV cameras to monitor unexplained events. But viewers in the comments warned him with comments like, Japanese ghosts, often called yurei, are not the same. Unlike the silent, motionless spirits he was used to, yurei are believed to be far more interactive, often driven by strong emotions like vengeance or sorrow, and their methods of making themselves known are often much more terrifying. After reading several comments, he's starting to realize that the rituals he relied on back home might not protect him here, but he's willing to take his chances. We wish him luck. In this next clip, Cello is home alone doing the dishes when she suddenly hears strange noises. She steps out to check but finds nothing unusual, so she sets up a camera in the living room before heading back to the kitchen. A few minutes later, the camera captures this.
Okay, I'm so crazy, right? Here you go. Baby is terrified. Hold on. I know. You're okay. You're okay. I know.
This isn't the first time something like this has happened in her house. Over the years, Cello's dealt with objects falling for no reason, heavy footsteps when no one else is home, and at one point she even woke up to the sound of someone whispering her name, except no one was there. It took a long time, but she eventually traced it all back to something she picked up over a decade ago. A necklace. Back in 2011, she bought what she thought was just a vintage piece of jewelry at an estate sale. The necklace had symbols she didn't understand, but later she discovered it was tied to a figure infamous for occult rituals and dark spiritual practices. According to her, the moment she got rid of the necklace, whatever had been connected to that object was gone. Or so she hopes. But some viewers aren't so sure, because when you bring something into your life that was meant to bind, control, or channel something else, getting rid of the object doesn't always mean getting rid of what came with it. Let's hope that's not the case for Cello. The following video was shared by Karina's friend, Mercy, after she stumbled on a weird clip on her friend's phone. And since Karina didn't fully believe her own experiences were anything unusual, Mercy decided to help her repost what was happening. Watch this.
Sent me this over this weekend. It's the middle of the night. It's in her living room. I don't know what to think. So there's a shadow in the corner. And it just kind of glides off. But that's not the craziest part. Her TV is auto set to turn off, so nothing paranormal there. This is what's weird. Who was that? What was that? There's just someone there. Just appears. There's nobody in this house that looks like that. And if someone broke in, you would have seen it. It's just, it appears and then it disappears. I don't know, you guys. I'm sufficiently spooked, so let me know what you think.
If this figure was an intruder, the figure wouldn't just appear and suddenly disappear without ever walking toward the door. Even more unsettling, you'll notice how the light near the bottom of the wall warps when the figure passes, almost as if whatever it is, it's interfering with the space around it. With this footage, Mercy is now convinced something else is living in the house, but with no one able to give a clear explanation, it seems likely we'll never know what really made its way inside her friend's house. Now in this next clip, a man is about to go to bed when he hears some strange noises and captures this on camera.
You guys are hearing that, right? Hello? Ever since our cat passed away, things have kind of been picking up. I'm not going back there. Hello? Damn it. Who are you? Get the hell out of here. Jeez. Dude. Stop. No, dude.
You probably missed this. Watch this ball closely. It manifests out of thin air, out of nowhere. Watch.
Excuse me. Are you back there again? This has become its favorite spot. Now, and there he is. Okay, that's enough water, please. Okay. Everyone can see you in their reflection, bud. Everyone can see you in their reflection. And it's gone. Okay. I know he's not in here, but I just want anyone who's watching to see. This is too small, but just like it's not. I just wanted you to see. The cabinets are knocking again. I'm leaving.
The violent banging noise is one thing, but what really creeps people out is the swing. If you look closely, you'll notice it didn't move until he said hello, and just as he asked, "Who are you?" a ball rolled from nowhere. Look closely. 1 minute the ball doesn't even exist, another minute it rolls out. The next morning, it got worse. Faucets started turning on by themselves, and if you pause the footage at just the right moment, you'll notice a shadow reflected on the fridge door. The fact that he was home alone is what creeps him out, but there could be a rational explanation for this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. This next video was captured in Lauren's home after she installed cameras throughout the house, hoping to find a logical explanation for why things kept moving on their own. One evening, she's relaxing in her living room when this happens.
Because my shirt is 6 and I won. I gave you 6 points, I'm deducting 7. This is ridiculous. Don't make me think about numbers again. A brave and accurate decision. Yes, my captain. Yes. Yeah, holy captain, your horticulture is harvestable. Ah, good. Come on, thank you. Fine. Hurry happily and Hank, he's hungry. Hollow hippo.
The moment it happened, Lauren assumes it was probably her cat, but she was wrong. Take a closer look. There's no way her cat could have done it from the angle it was sitting. Whether this is paranormal or not, the incident is undeniably strange. And although no new videos have been posted since, this one continues to spook viewers. Now in this next clip, May is at Grimsby's West Lincoln Memorial for a routine health check when she starts noticing strange things happening around her. Look closely.
In the hospital again. This is a really creepy freaking hospital. Like, really creepy. I don't know.
The door has some kind of motion sensor that opens whenever it detects movement, but around 3 a.m., when the halls are completely empty, the door begins opening and closing repeatedly, without anyone near it. To make things worse, May says she started hearing slow shuffling sounds right beside her bed, but there was no one there. She couldn't get any sleep that night, and the next morning, she asked a couple of nurses if they'd ever noticed anything strange. One said patients often complain about hearing someone whispering when no one's around. Another admitted she avoids that wing at night because, in her words, it always feels like someone's watching. Whatever's going on in this hospital, it's not exactly comforting, but until other people post more videos about this place, we can't conclude if it's paranormal or something else entirely. In the following video, Marcus Belton was driving home through Ravens Hollow, Maine, exhausted after a long shift and just wanting to crawl into bed. But as he entered his street, his headlights lit up his driveway and he saw something that took him off guard.
Okay, so I just got home from work and there should be nobody at my house right now. I mean, it should be completely empty. But I just pulled up and what is that? Is that a person? What the fuck is that? There should be nobody in the house. Nobody at all. Okay, well, guess I'll check it out. Okay.
Someone in a dark hoodie was standing really still and silent by his door, almost like they had been waiting for him the whole time. This was strange because Marcus lived alone, wasn't expecting anyone, and nobody had a spare key, so whoever that was, they definitely weren't supposed to be there. He stepped out of the car and hurried toward the house, but by the time he reached the door, the figure had vanished. Just like that, no sound, no running, no one walking away, like the person disappeared into thin air. Marcus looked around, checked for prints or any sign someone had actually been there, but he didn't find a single trace. He tried to make sense of it, but the only explanation that stuck was the one he didn't want to believe. A paranormal entity had been there. This video was recorded at a primary school in Ohio where students and teachers often joke about a ghost said to haunt room 3B. You'll hear things like, "Say hi when you walk past room 3B, he likes it." Everyone knew who he was supposed to be, the ghost of a little boy who died long ago and, according to legend, never really left. Most people laughed it off as a harmless story, but that all changed one night when a janitor heard light giggling echoing through the empty hallway. That moment stirred curiosity among some of the teachers, and one Friday evening, they decided to stay late and check the school's security footage from the hallway outside room 3B. They watched in silence, expecting nothing, but then something happened.
Я к нему как-то уже лояльно.
Ну так спокойно.
И что, на одном месте?
Мы все здороваемся с ним теперь.
Да, я ему говорю, привет.
Видишь ребенок?
Видишь, как ребенок.
Когда выходит на черное, его сильно вообще видно. Смотри, снимает. Иди сюда, мы же его...
Не.
Мы забыли вывести, это можно
вот,
уже на большой экран вывести.
Смотри, на большом экране.
Смотри.
Вот ходит, сейчас спустится, вон он идет, видишь?
Видишь? Вот здесь вообще как ребенок, смотри, да?
Капец, ты видишь?
Ну, конечно, вот и в телефоне да. Вот оно тоже.
И в актовом зале их там 3 штуки играют.
О, ничего себе.
Но они летают.
Они летают, как бы играют.
Они там не ходят, они летают.
А вон сейчас уже на стенке.
А я подошла туда
к лестнице.
К лестнице. Это включила, ничего не снимает телефон там.
At first, it was faint, like a shadow that shouldn't have been there, but as they leaned closer, it looked like a little kid. It started moving, and within seconds, it was gone. Most would have dismissed it if it wasn't caught on camera, but this time, the evidence was undeniable. The footage was later submitted to the school board and eventually shared with a local paranormal investigator. For now, room 3B remains locked after hours, not because of fear, but because they're waiting to see if it happens again. And if it does, the next step might not just be investigation, it could be a full-on cleansing. Devin Hale is a 34-year-old architect living alone in a quiet neighborhood just outside Portland, Oregon. One evening, while relaxing and watching TV like usual, he suddenly heard a loud crash from the kitchen, like a whole stack of plates hitting the floor. He jumped up, ran to check, and that's when things got real. Watch this.
Excuse me. Are you back there again? This has become its favorite spot. Now, and there he is. Okay, that's enough water, please. Okay. Everyone can see you in their reflection, bud. Everyone can see you in their reflection. And it's gone. Okay. I know he's not in here, but I just want anyone who's watching to see. This is too small, but just like it's not. I just wanted you to see. The cabinets are knocking again. I'm leaving. Out. That's enough for today.
He stood there trying to convince himself he had imagined it, because that's what we all do, right? But then the kitchen tap turned on. And no, it wasn't one of those motion sensor types. His tap needed to be turned manually. Still confused, but trying to stay calm, he walked over and turned it off, thinking the problem was solved. But as soon as he stepped back, the tap turned on again. The fact that he had to turn it off himself meant something else must have physically turned it on, and that something was certainly not human. He decided to check the laundry room next door, but as he approached, he saw a dark shadow shaped like a person. He ran into the laundry room, which was completely empty, but he was absolutely sure someone or something was watching him. Ever since that night, the tap in Devin's kitchen has developed a creepy habit. Every single night at exactly 8:13 p.m., it turns itself on. Devin has tried plumbing repairs and even got a new faucet, but nothing changed. At this point, there's no other way to explain it. This was definitely a ghost. He sent the footage to a group of investigators, and based on the behavior and strength of the entity's presence, they concluded it was a demon. I hope he receives all the help he needs. I hate seeing kind and normal people pulled into the world of the paranormal, especially when all they wanted was a sense of peace or closure. Eric and Naomi Dalton live in a quiet neighborhood in Flagstaff, Arizona, and had been missing Eric's late father more than usual lately. One afternoon, in a lighthearted moment, they joked about asking for a sign. One of those, "If you're out there, give us a hint." Moments you never expect to actually work, but what followed made them wonder if someone had truly been listening. Around 12:40 p.m., they were checking on their dog through their indoor camera when they noticed something unusual. See for yourself what the camera picked up. Before you dismiss it as faulty wiring, Eric explained their bedroom faces the bathroom and there's no shared lighting between the rooms. Plus, their blackout curtains are thick and pulled all the way down, so no light should be coming through at all. At first, the faint glow might look like a trick of the eye or a smudge on the camera lens, but then the light begins to move, slowly and deliberately, like someone waving a dim torch back and forth. But this wasn't the first strange thing to happen in their home, but it was the first time it happened in daylight, and Eric said it felt different and stronger this time, like someone or something was truly listening. They've since saged the house, kept a nightlight on in the hallway, and tried to pretend things are back to normal. Hopefully it stays that way. Camille Moreau is a single mom living in Lyon, France, and not long ago, she moved into what she thought was her dream apartment. But it didn't take long before that dream started to feel like a nightmare she couldn't wake up from. One night, just as she was about to fall asleep, she heard a loud bang from somewhere inside the apartment and walked toward the bathroom. She wasn't prepared for what happened next. The toilet seat moved all by itself, and Camille ran into the next room to catch her breath. But before she could even process what she saw, a picture frame that had been sitting perfectly still for weeks fell flat on its face. Things escalated quickly, and before she could move, the door slammed shut, the lights began to flicker, random objects rolled across the floor. Then a slow, eerie melody started playing from somewhere inside the walls, like the building itself was singing. Scared for her kids, Camille did what any good mother would do. She sent her kids to live with their father, but she's still stuck there because all her savings went into that apartment, and now she's asking for help. She has reached out for help and is hoping a paranormal expert can step in and bring some peace back into her life. We wish Camille the best in banishing this spirit once and for all. Some videos are not about what was seen, but more about what was heard, and trust me, it's the kind of sound that stays with you long after the video ends. A family in Pennsylvania decided to check their doorbell camera after the motion detector went off around 3:17 a.m., and when they looked, there was no person outside, no package was dropped off, it was just light. Watch closely and listen carefully to what they found. Small, glowing shapes floating and swirling like they had a mind of their own. But what really gives you chills isn't the light, it's the sound. The faint, scratchy voice loops repeatedly, saying, "Can you tell me how to get?" And that's it. The question never finishes. It just repeats over and over, like someone stuck in time, trying to ask something they never get to say. Some believe it's a lost spirit asking for directions in the only way it knows how. Others think it's simply residual energy trapped in a loop. But with no one there, no interference, and no technical faults to explain what was captured, this was certainly a ghost. A security supervisor at a museum in California worked there for 3 years, and from day one, people warned him the elevator was haunted, but he dismissed it as just another strange workplace story. Over time, the weird stories kept coming, and during one of his night shifts, at exactly 3:40 a.m., he witnessed something he couldn't explain. Watch what the camera caught that night. The inside light of the elevator by right suddenly turned on, and it stayed on for nearly an hour and a half, until 5 a.m. The next day, they ran a full diagnostic on the elevator, electrical tests, door sensors, motion detectors, but there were no malfunctions, no power surges, absolutely nothing to explain what happened. But let's be real, elevators don't activate themselves for over an hour without cause, and if no one was inside, then something else was. Whether it was the restless ghost people whispered about, or a more powerful entity tied to the building, one thing's clear, this wasn't a glitch. It was paranormal. Shortly after, they brought in a priest to bless the building, and the elevator specifically. They even closed off the elevator for 2 weeks. We hope this will be the end of the paranormal activity. Jane and her partner recently booked a night at a hotel they've heard several stories about, like doors opening and closing on their own, and guests checking out early with pale faces and nervous laughter. But instead of getting scared, they got curious. They didn't just want stories, they wanted proof, and that's exactly what their camera caught.
It's okay. I can see you. Come to me. Are you a little boy? It's okay. Come here. It's okay. I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but it looks like it's going like back and forth. You see a movie? See a movie?
Oh.
It's okay.
No, wait. Come back.
Where?
No, you come back. Go straight, look straight towards me. No, turn towards me like you were earlier. Put your back towards me.
With no footsteps and no sound at all, the shadow was still, till it started moving. Instead of freaking out, Jane leaned forward, but her partner was clearly feeling nervous, so he told her to step back, and that's when a shadow moved across the room. It looked like the shadow of a child, and was fast like something alive and playful. The couple barely slept that night, and when the sun came up, they packed their bags and checked out without looking back. After reviewing the footage back home, Jane and her partner decided to send it to a local paranormal investigator who had studied that hotel for years. What he told them confirmed what they already felt in their gut. The shadow wasn't a trick of the light. In fact, similar sightings had been reported before, all pointing to the same room, the same childlike figure. The expert believes the spirit might still be searching for her family, for peace, or simply for someone to notice. One thing's for sure, now that she's been seen again, the activity may only grow stronger. Kelsey Davis always thought being a mom meant dealing with tantrums, toys scattered across the floor, and the occasional sleepless night, but never in her wildest dreams did she imagine that bedtime would become the most terrifying part of her day. It started when her young son began having full conversations with no one there, pausing like he was listening to someone speak back. She brushed it off at first as just an imaginary friend, but something about the way he responded didn't sit right with her. One night, she decided to record him.
Who are you saying goodnight to?
Him. Good night.
Who?
Him. Good night.
Jagger, there's no one up there.
Him up there.
Show me.
Him up there. Him up there.
Jagger, there's no one up there. He's been talking to that vent and then he was blowing it kisses. And I'm creeped out now. Like, seriously, I'm not joking. I'm so creeped out right now.
Her son stood in his room, looked toward the ceiling, and calmly said goodnight to an empty corner. Kelsey didn't see anything unusual, but the room didn't feel right, so she shared the footage with a group of ghost hunters to see if they could make sense of it. For now, the situation remains unresolved, and while the activity hasn't stopped, she's hoping the team steps in soon to help figure out what is sharing the room with her son. Jake never believed in ghosts, not as a kid, not as a teen, and not even after his uncle passed away, leaving behind his old garage where he spent most of his time fixing things. The space had been untouched for years, his tools still on the bench, his jacket still on the hook, like he'd be back any minute. Then one night, something strange happened. While Jake was scrolling through his phone, he heard the door slowly open on its own, and while he brushed it off at first, the light inside turned on by itself. But the switch was an old manual one, so it made no sense that it would come on by itself. He checked the footage again and again, searching for some explanation, convinced he'd missed something, but the video showed no movement until he turned the volume up and heard uneven footsteps coming from inside the garage. This only convinced him the situation was far from ordinary, and that sometimes the dead don't rest quietly, they just keep doing what they always did, waiting for someone to notice. This next clip comes from a creator named Chai, someone known for her hilarious takes on everyday life, relatable skits, and the kind of content that makes you laugh even on the toughest days. But recently, she posted something that felt completely different, something personal, unsettling, and impossible to explain.
Okay, who is it?
Daddy. Daddy's right there.
Is it your daddy?
No, it's your daddy.
Is where?
Daddy's right there.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, show me.
See?
Oh.
Your daddy's missing you.
My daddy's missing me?
That's your him.
Let's go get him. Where'd he go?
In him.
Okay, show me.
Chai's 2-year-old daughter stands quietly in the hallway, calmly repeating the words, "Dad is missing you." What makes this feel truly strange is that Chai's father passed away in 2002. Her daughter had never heard stories about him, never seen a photo, and yet she spoke as if she'd known him all her life. Now, Chai finds herself caught between believing this was just a coincidence or something else entirely, something trying to lure her into that room. She hasn't stepped inside for months, and it's hard to blame her because anyone in her position would be left wondering what might happen if they walked into that room. Few days into the new year, Alex, who worked in an ancient building, got stuck working a late shift alone. When he was about to leave and locking up, something terrifying happened. Have a look.
What was that?
Yeah. Did you hear that? He heard a voice that was like someone calling out for help. Alex knew he was the only one left in the building. He still turned to look, more out of instinct than reason, but the hallway was empty. The next day, unsure of what to make of it, he decided to look into the building's history, just to see if there was anything that might explain what he'd heard. But what he found was far more disturbing than he could have imagined. Years ago, a janitor had been working that same hallway when a maintenance door came loose and fell, trapping him behind it. And though he called out again and again, his voice echoing through the corridors, no one heard him in time. After learning that, Alex was convinced the voice he heard wasn't just in his head, it was the echo of a spirit still waiting to be heard. Since then, he's made sure he's never the last one to leave. Cameras don't lie, they catch what we miss. Moments we're too distracted to notice, and sometimes signs that something paranormal might still be out there. Melissa, a single mom living in Asheville, North Carolina, had been noticing something strange outside her home for months. Like someone walking past at odd hours, always just out of view. Hoping to ease her mind, she installed a small security camera above the front door, just to see if anything was really there. One evening, after returning home from dinner with her daughter Ava, they got a notification that the camera had picked up a strange movement, and what they saw caught them completely off guard.
Oh shit, who's that? Scary.
A man was walking slowly along the sidewalk in front of their house, but just as he reached a certain spot, he vanished. They rushed outside, hoping to find footprints or some sign of where he'd gone, but there was nothing, not even a single sign that anyone had been there at all. When they shared what happened with their neighbors, they learned they weren't the only ones who'd seen something strange. One neighbor even mentioned that the exact spot where the man disappeared used to be an old bus stop, and that back in 1989, a terrible accident had taken place there. Melissa didn't need convincing anymore. She already knew what this was, and that night she lit a candle and placed it on the windowsill, and from that moment on, they never saw the man again. This was definitely a paranormal activity, and whatever was lurking around their street just needed help getting home. Derek is the kind of man who appreciates quiet moments like when the kids have gone to bed and the only sounds left are the soft breathing of his wife beside him. But one night, after finishing an episode of American Dad and switching off the television, he heard something. Watch this moment and listen closely. A dragging noise, like something heavy had been pulled across the floor, came from the dining room. But their dining set was the kind that doesn't move unless someone makes it move. So Derek was trying to understand how something so heavy could have shifted so loudly without a single person out of bed. He didn't check right away because the noise reminded him of something that had happened years ago when every cabinet in the kitchen slammed shut at the same time in the middle of the night. He and his wife rushed into the kitchen expecting a mess, but everything was in place. No broken plates, no open doors, just silence. Within a few days, Derek reached out to a small paranormal team that had investigated homes in the area before, and after visiting the house, they confirmed what he feared most. The activity wasn't random, it was deliberate, and whatever it wasn't just passing through, it was claiming space. I hope things get better after this intervention, but with how active the house has been, Derek's not so sure. For now, all he can do is wait, and hope the next sound isn't closer than the last. The following video is about a man named Tyler who had always imagined that moving off-grid would bring peace. The kind of peace that comes from stepping away from city noise, endless traffic, crowded neighbors, and all the clutter and chaos of modern life. For a while, it did. His home sat alone on a hilltop, surrounded by trees, with no neighbors for miles. But one night, at 3:18 a.m., Tyler's phone buzzed with a single ring notification from the camera pointed toward the tree line, and although he didn't check it right away, convincing himself it was probably nothing, the next morning he opened the app, and this is what he saw. A figure moved across the edge of the frame, dressed in white, gliding forward with a strange, rigid stillness, its clothes untouched by the wind, its steps too smooth, too controlled, like it wasn't walking at all, but floating, unaware or maybe uninterested, that a camera was watching, and just as it appeared, it vanished into the trees. Tyler rushed outside, checking every inch of the fence line for footprints or broken branches or any sign that someone had been there, but there was nothing. No trail, no marks. And ever since that night, he hasn't slept quite the same. I guess living off-grid keeps people out, but it doesn't promise you'll be alone. It just strips away the noise, the distractions, the excuses, and leaves you alone with what's really there. Some fears don't need a reason. They live quietly in the backs of our minds, and for Jordan, basements had always stirred something he couldn't explain. A quiet unease that never really left, no matter how often he tried to dismiss it. So when his grandparents invited him to visit their old farmhouse tucked deep in the back roads of Ohio and offered him the basement guest room, he smiled and agreed, even though something in him said no. The first night felt normal, until just after 2 a.m., when a strange vibration rolled through the floor, followed by a sound he couldn't place. He sat up, reached for his phone, and started recording to be sure he wasn't making it up. The sound was like a broken trumpet, and it was too close to ignore. The next morning, he uploaded the clip, hoping for answers, but instead, people pointed out something he hadn't noticed at all. In the background, just behind the basement window, was a pale face that was watching. Jordan never got a clear answer about what he saw that night, but ever since, he keeps the basement light on, just in case. But this might not be the solution, because some fears don't go away, especially once they finally have a face. The following video is about a content creator named Carla Agnini, a woman known for sharing her journey through midlife adventures, cozy home moments, and the joys of an empty nest. But one quiet morning, while filming a simple video to show how peaceful her house can be, this happens. Watch.
If you are an empty nester, what does your house sound like regularly throughout the day? Because this is the sound of mine. It seriously drives my husband crazy that it is so quiet. And whenever he's home, he's... What in the world is that? Where did that music come from? I'm like way over here by the dishwasher. And this music just starts randomly playing. What in the heck? I don't even know what that is. It's like somebody was playing a joke on me because I said my house is so quiet. What? And what was that song? Now I think my house is haunted. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go with that.
Carla later confirms that the song was coming from her iPad, not Alexa. And the creepy part is, absolutely nothing was open to play music. No tabs, no apps, nothing. Even stranger, she had never heard that song before in her life, and she was alone in the house when it happened. Carla now believes her home might be haunted and that her empty nest just got a lot less empty. And honestly, she might not be wrong. When she posted the video, many viewers pointed out that spirits, especially those tied to the home, try to reach out using frequencies through electronics, manipulating sound, static, and in rare cases, even music. After reading through dozens of concerned comments, Carla decided to contact a local ghost hunter and has already set a date for a full spiritual sweep of her house. This next clip was recorded by Sharon, who has been experiencing very strange things in her home for weeks now, but either the activity happens too fast to capture or she's too scared to even remember to grab her phone. One night, she managed to capture this.
Oh my god, there's nothing there. There's nothing.
Now here's the thing, Sharon lives in a one-story rancher. There's no upstairs or an attic space above that area of the house. So what or who was causing that strange noise? And this is where it gets even more disturbing. Sharon has experienced the same strange activity in every house she's lived in since her daughter was born. No matter where they move, it follows, and it's become so common that they've developed a routine. When it starts, they either leave the room or go outside for a walk until it stops. In the video she posted, Sharon included some unsettling details like how the dog starts growling and pacing seconds before the activity begins, how the temperature in the room suddenly drops even in the middle of summer, and how her and her daughter's mood changes sharply, as if something takes over. One minute they're calm, and the next, they're angry, sad, or overwhelmed for no reason. But the scariest detail she gave is that every time it starts, she and her daughter feel their hair stand on end, like a shiver that doesn't go away. Given the consistency of the experience across multiple homes, many viewers believe the entity isn't haunting a location. It's attached to Sharon, or possibly to her daughter, or even an object they unknowingly bring with them from house to house. But I'll let you be the judge on that. What exactly do you think is going on here? Let me know your thoughts on this one. This next clip is about another terrifying night Kyle had in his apartment, following weeks of sharing videos that prove he's barely had a peaceful night's sleep. He has been experiencing unsettling banging sounds, objects moving without reason, and perhaps the creepiest of all, the sound of children laughing, even though Kyle lives alone and has no kids. Naturally, viewers grew concerned until someone pointed out something Kyle had casually shown in one of his earlier clips, a doll he keeps in the house, one he's named Shelly. One night, while Kyle was finally asleep, he started hearing children laughing, and when he woke up, this was what he saw.
The water's gone off 3 times. There it goes again. Goodness. What the hell? That's the light switch right there. I mean, there's another one there too, but... Okay. I didn't touch that. I did not touch that light switch. There's nobody there.
If you look at the light switch to the right, it's clear no one is near it, but then, right in front of him, the light suddenly goes off. Moments later, Kyle stands to show that the space is empty, and just as he does, the light in the kitchen begins to flicker. He later uploaded the video, and there was one thing nearly everyone pointed out, something Kyle hadn't even noticed at first. There were orbs floating through the shot, and many believe orbs are spiritual energy, a sign that something, or someone, is present. After that night, things got worse, and viewers began to warn him that whatever or whoever was behind the haunting seemed to be feeding off his fear. So Kyle decided to fight back and filmed himself doing a challenge where he was standing alone in the dark for 60 seconds, facing the fear head on. Watch what happened.
Can I withstand 60 seconds in the dark of my basement? I thought it'd be a good idea to try to overcome my fears since I live in a haunted house, so we're gonna try this. Let's get going. There's one. There we go. 60 seconds. How long is 60 seconds? Oh, this is already a bad idea. I don't like this. I don't like this at all, yo. What was that? Yo, no. No, we don't need to hear noises while we're down here. Fuck. Is it over? Is it over yet? Dang, I don't know. We got like 20 seconds? 20 seconds. Okay, I can do it. Oh, what was that? I heard something. Yo. Okay. Has it been 20? I don't know. The light switch won't work. Oh, shit. Okay.
What Kyle still can't wrap his head around is the fact that when he reached for the light switch to end the challenge, it didn't work. But when he checked it the next morning, everything worked perfectly, with no faults, no wiring issues, and not even a loose bulb. At this point, Kyle can't help but think there's a ghost in his house. In this next video, a man named Nick has been quietly taking care of his grandmother, who suffers from Alzheimer's. Her condition often makes her restless, wandering around the house, staring into empty corners, or talking to people who aren't there. But one night, what Nick captured was different. Take a look. His grandmother was standing still, as usual, but this time her dog began to growl and something else happened that not even Nick can explain, and viewers didn't miss it either. If you look closely, you'll notice the Roomba moving back and forth, almost like it's detecting someone standing in front of it. And just moments after that, something falls. But what really makes this moment unsettling is what fell. Watch this.
Alright, so this is in response to last night. My grandma loves to collect little figurines. One of my grandma's little angels fell off the fridge last night. You see how far back they are? Genuinely. I mean, the significance of an angel falling and not legitimately anything else she has.
Out of all the things placed on top of the fridge, it was a mini angel statue that fell. And what's odd is that the statue had been sitting far back, not near the edge. So how exactly did it tip over? According to Nick, nothing, and no one was near the Roomba at the time, so it's possible that it was reacting to something he couldn't see. Ever since that night, Nick hasn't felt the same about the kitchen, but the problem is his grandmother only has one working television in the house, and it's close to the kitchen. So every night, he has to sit there to watch his program. One night, while watching TV alone in the living room, Nick's camera caught this. Watch closely.
So, I was watching my show, and after last night, I'm definitely not leaving these lights on. But I was watching my show, and there's nothing there.
Not one, but both of his grandmother's dogs are caught on video standing alert and staring at the kitchen, completely still with their ears perked up. Now here's something to consider. Nick told viewers that his grandfather mentioned seeing his grandma standing in the dark kitchen late one night, but when he got up to check, no one was there. It's for reasons like that and moments like these that Nick is starting to feel seriously uneasy. But the night was far from over. A few moments later, Nick heard the sound of the ice maker going off, so he grabbed his phone and started filming again. This is what he caught.
Whoa. Whoa. Yo. Oh, that's cool. Jesus!
After Nick posted the video, viewers immediately picked up on a few details like the Roomba's behavior had been off all evening, moving in a straight, unnatural line, unlike how it usually detects and avoids walls or stairs. But more disturbing was the way it suddenly flipped even when there was nothing in its way. No object, no stairs, yet it spins and lands hard on its side, almost like something had forcefully knocked it over. It didn't also react to the stair's edge, something it's programmed to sense and avoid. And then there was the angel statue that didn't fall randomly. It fell as if something wanted it out of sight. To this day, Nick can't explain any of it, and it remains unknown as to what caused all these strange things, but whatever happened that night still haunts him. Now, this next video is about Tana, a mom and nurse practitioner who often shares heartfelt snippets of her daily life, but one particular video she shared recently had nothing to do with cozy mornings or toddler giggles. It was something much more unsettling. Have a look.
Who are you talking to? you talking to? Apple. Apple? No. Apple. No. Who are you talking to? Evelyn. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
You can see her 20-month-old daughter smiling, giggling, and reaching out like someone was right there in the room with her. The joy on her face suggests she was genuinely seeing someone, and many viewers were quick to say, maybe she was. Some believe she might have been seeing a loved one who passed, possibly an uncle watching over her, but others couldn't shake a different, more disturbing idea that whatever she was seeing wasn't her uncle at all, but something pretending to be. Something that took on a familiar shape, just to be welcomed. It's a theory that's shown up before in stories like these, that children are more open to what we can't see, and sometimes that openness can attract something else. Still, no one can say for sure. Was this a sweet moment between a child and a spirit watching over her, or something more deceptive and dangerous? You decide. The following is about a Canadian woman widely known for documenting her life in what many now call one of the most haunted houses on the internet. Her videos are filled with recurring eerie sounds, fleeting shadows, and unsettling encounters. But she's also built a following around her thrift store finds, unboxings, creepy dolls, and vintage items that seem to carry strange energy. One quiet evening, she's in the kitchen when she hears voices drifting from the laundry room. But this isn't new to her. As someone deeply familiar with the paranormal, she instinctively starts calling out, asking questions, trying to see if something will respond. Watch.
Hi guys. Thanks Chris, thanks for the heart. This doll doesn't seem to be doing much of anything at this point. Whatever's going on, we're getting a lot of activity from that room. A lot of noise coming from there. A lot of app activity from there. I just don't feel comfortable over there. Do you? Mm-mm. Are you still in that room? If you're in that room, give me a sign. Oh yeah, I never thought flashlight. If you're in the room, give me a sign. Did you hear that? Who's there? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Okay. You heard that, right?
Yep.
Was that you?
I'm trying to there.
Okay. I'm scared to go near it. What are you doing? I was ready to run for the stairs. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to breathe. Okay. Who is this?
I think it's toying with us.
Frig, the cat scared me. Frig, I can't. My heart is in my throat. What was that noise, though? It was a thump. Yeah, keep the flashlight like that. If there's anything moving, we can see. Who's here? Holy shit. That was loud, whatever that was. My nose is starting to run because it's gotten cold.
Do I turn it off?
Try to get out. I'm just gonna back up. I keep thinking something's gonna fly out at me. Frig, I don't like that. I don't like that. Who's here? Say your name. Say your name.
The loud bang, the inhuman growl, the abrupt silence as she speaks, the sudden drop in temperature, and then the scream. This exact pattern of events is textbook poltergeist activity, a kind of disturbance believed to be caused by a restless or malevolent spirit. But the truly disturbing part came after viewers noticed something creepy. At the point when she's pointing the flashlight toward the curtain, if you look closely, you'll notice a large face. Clip. Sometimes it takes a crowd to spot what one person misses in the moment, but despite what she captured on camera, she decides to stay. And nearly a year after posting the first clip, this happened.
Okay guys, I'm in the laundry room, and a lot of you know we hung the wind chimes down in the basement the other day. We've been hearing them off and on, and I'm down here alone and I just heard them. They're moving. And there's an orb. They're moving.
Among her many old collectibles is a wind chime. Innocent looking, but somehow always at the center of strange occurrences. Watch closely, you'll see orbs floating around it. But here's where things get truly unsettling. Unlike most orb sightings, which are only visible through a lens, she can see these orbs with her own eyes. And that's a big deal, because in the paranormal world, naked eye orb sightings are rare and usually indicate a high energy presence. Some believe these are spirits attempting direct contact, while others think they're remnants of something far older and far less human. Still, she insists the presence in her home isn't there to harm her, and while that may be true, we can only hope she's right. In this next video, a couple is fast asleep when their bedroom camera picks up something no one can explain. Take a look. At first glance, it's easy to assume it was just the cat, but after watching it over and over again, the wife, Hannah, is convinced this wasn't her cat at all. And once you hear her breakdown, you might start to see it differently too. She explains that her first reaction was also to blame the cat, but something didn't sit right. The eyes. They seem to appear out of nowhere, and more importantly, she accounts for all three of their cats. One is clearly perched on the headboard, the other two are 10 feet away from the bed. So what, or who, was right behind her sleeping partner? She adds that there are no mirrors, no windows, and no lights on, just a dark hallway behind the bed, and an open closet. And that's what really got people talking. Many viewers now believe whatever was behind her partner came out from the closet. Hannah's still shaken up and admits she can't unsee it. So the question remains, are those the eyes of a ghost like she believes? Or is there another explanation still waiting to be uncovered? You decide. Now, in this next clip, a mother takes her little girl to Phoenix Children's Hospital, where they encounter something they both, at the time, described as a friendly ghost. Have a look.
Okay, go. Who is it?
It's so weird.
Is it you?
Is it me? It's not me.
It's motion sensor. There's no one over there. Okay, do it one more time.
Do it one more time, please.
Okay. One last time.
Okay. Wait, so are we friends now? Can you do it again if we're friends now?
Oh.
We're not friends? You don't like me? Okay.
Are you a doctor?
Are you a... Wait, so do it again if you're a doctor. Wait, are you messing with us or are you actually a doctor? I don't know. Are you just messing with us? Okay. Well.
I don't know.
At first, the moment felt lighthearted, almost magical. The little girl was smiling, and the mother found it charming that something so unusual had happened during their hospital visit. But once they got home and posted the video online, everything changed. The comments started flooding in, and with them, stories that completely reframed what they experienced. Several former staff members said that in the old ER, the TV would turn on and off by itself, and even maintenance crews could never figure out why. But that wasn't the most unsettling part. One comment pointed out that room 28 in the old ER is never used anymore and hasn't been for years because of multiple reported sightings of a girl ghost known to attack patients. Others claimed they had seen a nurse walk straight through a wall or heard footsteps echoing through empty corridors, especially at night. One father shared that during his son's extended stay, they'd take night walks near the cafeteria, only to hear children laughing and playing in the halls below. But every time they went to check, the place was empty. And here's the most disturbing part. Beneath the cafeteria, there's a morgue. When you take all of that in, every whispered story, every unexplained sound, it makes that moment between mother and daughter feel far more terrifying than sweet. They thought they'd met a friendly ghost, but now they're not so sure. Is this hospital really haunted? I'd love to know if you've ever been to Phoenix Children's Hospital and what you experienced. Now, in this next clip, Brian is in his living room filming a wholesome moment about how good life can feel when you slow down, listen to some good music, and choose happiness. But then, while he was recording, something strange appeared in his phone camera. Watch closely.
I got bloody. Huh? There's nothing there, but on the phone it looks like there's a What? Hold up, let me take this off. What is... Oh my god, there's nothing there! What the Hello? What the... Can y'all see it? No, run. Oh my god, I see her shadow. There's something at the window. There's something. I'm gonna turn on the lights now. I don't want to play. There's something at the window. Put this down. There's something at the window. Hello?
But there's nothing there when I show. Shit! Why are they making my life freeze? My life is freezing. There's literally something there. Bloody Mary.
What's truly unsettling is that he could see it only through the phone, but when he looked up at the wall directly, nothing was there. Some believe phone lenses pick up frequencies or energies that the human eye can't detect, especially when entities aren't fully materialized. But was this really the case? Seconds later, he gets this intense feeling, like someone's standing right by the window, but when he turns, no one's there. Now, if you pay close attention to the footage, you'll notice something even creepier. There's a brief moment where a hand-like shape moves, followed by what looks like a figure slowly moving out of the corner of the wall. Brian says he was completely alone that night and insists there's no way anyone else could have been inside. So like other videos, this remains unsolved. The following video captures yet another strange moment in Jenna's house, one of many that oddly only seem to happen when she's not around. For weeks, all she's had were secondhand accounts from her partner about weird noises and unexplainable events, but this time, her mom and siblings happened to be visiting and they finally caught something on camera. Watch.
I saw a shadow figure today in my house, and now my dog's been barking at the ceiling for 5 minutes.
Get it, Athena. What is it?
The dog's behavior here is the creepy part. For nearly 5 minutes straight, it's pacing, growling, barking, and completely restless. Now, any pet owner knows dogs don't fake fear. When a dog is this agitated, it usually means it's reacting to something real, which could either be physical or not. Jenna was advised to sage the house, and she agrees it's probably the right move. But here's where things get interesting. She only has a small, brittle sage stick she describes as pretty chintzy. So now she's wondering, does the quality of sage actually matter when it comes to spiritual cleansing? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. In this next clip, a mom hears her kid's toy going off in the middle of the night. She gets up, half asleep, just planning to turn it off like usual, but then something else moves, and it's not what you'd expect. Watch closely.
So this is the same toy that used to go off in the past. And it's always terrified me since. Because I would ask it questions and it would answer with noises.
Now here's what's strange. The toy making noise on its own? She's used to that. It's happened so many times, even after people advised her to take the batteries out, which she eventually did. But the sound didn't stop. Still, the creepiest part isn't the toy, it's what's sitting right there on the table beside it. You'll notice a plastic hand completely still until one finger twitches. Paranormal or not, this one is hard to shake. Now, in this next clip, James and his friend are exploring an old school building late at night, after hearing rumors of strange noises echoing through the classrooms. As they follow the sound, this is what they capture.
What is that?
I think it's coming from a deep.
Is it that one?
I think.
Should we start recording, you guys?
Attention please, there has been a report of an emergency. Proceed calmly to exit and leave the building immediately. All handicapped occupants shall use the building evacuation plan.
A baby crying alone in an abandoned classroom at night is the kind of sound that immediately puts you on edge because it doesn't belong there. But just as they reach the door, something attacks them. You can hear the panic in their voices as they run for their lives. Now here's where the real debate begins. Some people believe they should have gone back with the police to make sure there wasn't an actual child in danger. But others, including several who've worked in abandoned or reportedly haunted buildings, warn that sounds like a crying baby are a known paranormal lure, a tactic used to draw people in. It's been documented in other cases where the sound leads to nowhere, or to something much worse. James never went back, and after what happened, can you really blame him? I'll leave this one up to you to decide. The following video was captured by a woman named Sanaya, whose daughter had been having full conversations with someone no one else could see. Her little girl would sit perfectly still on the edge of her bed with her eyes locked on the closet and calmly whispering like someone was giving her instructions. Some days she would laugh softly, other days she'd frown like she was being scolded, and then one Saturday afternoon, after waking up from her nap, her daughter stepped out of the bedroom and said, "There's a person in my closet, and he won't stop smiling at me." Sanaya picked up her phone and followed her into the room, and that's when she captured this.
My daughter has informed me that there is a person in her closet that keeps smiling at her. Let's go see.
Open it. That's a person.
There's a person?
Yeah.
Can you show me where the person is?
Right here.
Is it Elsa?
No. No.
No?
I'm sure.
You're scared?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you show me where the person is? Is it a kid person or a grown-up person?
Grown-up person.
It's a grown-up person?
I'm on the Elmo.
You want to wear your Elmo costume?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a grown-up person in your closet?
Yeah.
And it's right there?
Yeah. It's my closet.
It's your closet. Say, go away, person.
I'm scared.
You're scared?
Yeah. There's a person.
Okay, well, we'll get rid of the person.
This time, her daughter wasn't giggling or smiling. She was terrified. And when a child who's been calmly engaging with a spirit suddenly grows fearful, it usually means one thing. The entity is showing its true nature. According to the spiritualist she contacted, this could be the spirit of someone who passed away in or near the home. But if it's mimicking, changing moods, or drawing a child closer before turning dangerous, it's likely a demon pretending to be harmless, just to gain access. A date has been set to cleanse the entire house, and we wish her luck in getting rid of the spirit. This next clip was recorded by a man named Jay, who had always lived a quiet and uneventful life, until one unexpected visit changed everything. A few months ago, someone came to his home. Jay didn't think much of it at the time, as it was only a brief, strange conversation at the door with a man he didn't recognize. But ever since that encounter, he has been waking up with long scratches across his back that are too deep to come from bed sheets, and too clean to be accidental. And once, when he opened his freezer, all the food was melted, except for a single raw steak, still perfectly frozen and placed right in the center. One evening, while returning from the gym, he finally caught something on camera.
Guys, I can hear like some weird sounds in my house. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. So scary. I can't, oh my god. The hell? There's like nothing in here. This is an empty room. Guys, this is so scary.
You can tell it's angry and aggressive, and when a spirit becomes hostile, it's usually for one of two reasons. Either it's been disturbed, or it was never human to begin with. I don't know exactly what that strange visitor brought into his life, but whatever it is, it's dangerous. Jay contacted a local spiritual advisor, but as we've seen before, getting rid of powerful entities like this is never easy. We hope Jay finds the help he needs. When moving into a new house, most people check the plumbing, the walls, maybe the appliances, but not everyone asks why the last owner really left. And sometimes that missing detail could be the difference between peace and nightmare. The very first day Mateo and his family moved in, not a single night has gone by without something disturbing happening. Objects moving on their own, and a rotten stench that creeps in at exactly 1:30 a.m. every night, and stays for about 20 minutes, then disappears just as fast as it came. One night, it happened again. Same time, same smell, but with strange noises coming from the kitchen, so they all got up to investigate.
¡Ey! No, no hagan eso. No, pero se estaban abriendo ahorita bien feos, ahorita está bien leve. No manches, no las digas. ¿Quieres que no? Ay, no, tío. Se están abriendo solos. No mames. Ay, no. Ay, no, me da miedo. ¿Ya cerraste el otro? Ya cerré los dos. ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué es eso? Córrele, que aquí espantan. Échale las cosas. Es todo por irte el Día de Muertos a celebrar. Trajiste algo, tío. No, porque aquí dijiste. Por ir a tus. ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Cómo? ¿A dónde fue? Mira, mira otra vez. No manches, ya, que no le caes. ¿Qué se espantan, abuelita? ¿Qué? No lo voy a bajar. ¿No te asusta? ¿Se selló? No, manches, no, hay que traer un padrecito. O algo. Abuelita, ya me dio miedo, en serio, ya lo estoy cotorreando. Mira. Mi risa es de nervio. No digas, no, vámonos ya, no, abuelita. Yo me voy con mi tío Diego, ahorita vengo. Oh, yeah.
Even the dog couldn't stay, and that's never a good sign. You see, when a dog runs, it means something stronger is present, and the dog's instinct tells it to run. They'd sprayed pesticides, thinking maybe it was rats, but they've never found a single dead rodent. And with everything else happening, the lights flickering, the sound of footsteps upstairs when no one was home, they realized this wasn't an infestation. They were living with a ghost. Now they had to do what they should have done before moving in. They asked around and found out the original owner of the house died inside it, and every family that moved in after never stayed up to 4 months. But you see, Mateo's family didn't want to run. Instead, they did something not many would do. They contacted a medium, hoping maybe they could find out what the spirit wants and if there's a way to coexist. Of course, a lot of you think that's a dangerous move because it might be a trap. Let's hope this family knows exactly what they're doing. This next clip was recorded by a successful businesswoman named Tasha, who had her life all figured out. Steady job, beautiful home, and a routine that never skipped a beat, until her house started falling apart in a way no contractor could fix. Sometimes it's the mug she kept in the sink she'll suddenly find on the floor the next day, or books falling from the shelves one by one as if someone were browsing. But then it got worse. Things were no longer just falling, they started moving on their own. Take a look at something she caught on camera.
See, and you think I'm crazy. The first time I'm here by myself, there's a picture on the floor, and it just
What you just watched wasn't a gust of wind or faulty hinges, and especially because the door slammed shut with timing too precise to be random, and based on how targeted the activity has been waiting for her to come home, reacting when she's alone. This is definitely a spirit trying to get her attention. Tasha didn't wait to find out what it wanted, so she contacted her priest, and they've already picked a date for a full blessing and house cleansing. We wish her luck. Layla and her fiance have heard a lot of stories about haunted homes, but they never imagined they'd become part of the story themselves. One morning while they were relaxing near the kitchen, this happened.
Ghost, chill out, bruh. Knock something off the table.
Shut up!
Is that the only way you could talk to me? Turn on a light or something.
Yeah, are you a good ghost? Okay,
Yeah,
he's a good ghost.
He's a good ghost, so it's cool.
So he's a spirit? One, I guess two for now.
Do you believe in friendly ghosts? Some people say not all spirits are angry, and some stick around to watch over the living, especially loved ones. But a large number of people believe these friendly behaviors are just deceptive moves some spirits use to wait until your guard is down, and then reveal their true nature. Right now, Layla and her fiance are comfortable with the idea of sharing their space with the ghost, and honestly, who are we to judge?